The Saudis are currently playing a very, very delicate balancing game as they must simultaneously weigh their own self-interest and need to reform or die, which will cost a lot of money and require high oil prices, their relationship with the United States as their biggest security guarantor and provider of arms who prefers lower oil prices, their relationship with Russia as the second largest oil exporter in the world who can most help them manipulate oil prices to be higher, but who is stuck in a proxy war with the United States and Ukraine, and their relationship with China, who is the Saudis' single largest oil customer, but who is also locked in a sort of Cold War with the United States and the Pacific over Taiwan. It is a balancing act between all of these various interests that the Saudi royal family, led by MBS, must carefully tread between for decades, and if they ever stumble along the way during any part of it, they will all immediately die and lose everything. And at the same time, this careful balancing act must all be maintained, as Iran carefully eyes them with their gains in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, and as the 15,000 other members of MBS's own royal family jockey and position themselves at court in Riyadh for their own positions of power. And as the religious fundamentalists within Saudi Arabia increasingly feel that the House of Saud at large is at last fully betraying them after the 300-year-old alliance between them and the Wahhabists is ended. Internal strife within the kingdom is a certainty, and the Saudi regime is already responding to it by cracking down on emerging Islamist opposition within the kingdom whenever it can, and outside the kingdom whenever it can. It's all a part of the very complex relationship between the Saudi kingdom and radical Sunni Islamist organizations with roots in the kingdom like Al-Qaeda and even ISIS. For decades, Al-Qaeda sought to overthrow the Saudi monarchy, and its strategy to do so has been to sow as much chaos in the kingdom as possible by attacking foreigners and discouraging any tourism to the country, and attacking skilled workers in the oil and gas industry and discouraging them from coming, thus eventually leading to the kingdom's collapse by the erosion of both its oil and its tourism industries. The Saudi state has thus fought back against Al-Qaeda ever since the 1990s. But a new and perhaps even more menacing internal and external threat suddenly appeared on the scene in 2014, when ISIS exploded across the territory of Iraq and Syria in a lightning series of conquests. ISIS, too, just like Al-Qaeda before it, vowed that it would one day overthrow the Saudi Arabian monarchy, after it completed its conquest of Iraq and Syria first. And the Saudi monarchy wasn't put any more at ease after it turned out that thousands of ISIS's fighters had in fact come from within the kingdom and were Saudi citizens. Thus, in order to destroy the threat, Saudi Arabia sent military officers to Syria to help train and equip resistance fighters fighting against ISIS, and join the American-led military coalition to destroy ISIS altogether by the end of 2014. A coalition that would eventually encompass dozens of countries from all around the world in the largest military alliance seen in history since the alliance to destroy Nazi Germany 70 years beforehand.